Hey guys, I haven't posted anything in a while. Things been a little bit busy here with some things that have been going on, and actually, we were riding our bikes down the street here, and my husband got hit by a motorbike and was recovering. Thank God, no serious injuries. But watching him, fly across the street and roll down the street was really scary. So we've just been kind of recuperating here at home, but I had an interesting experience last night that I wanted to share. And even if nobody ever watches these videos, for me it's really just a dream journal, kind of a way for me to just keep track of my dreams and out of bodies, or whatever you call them, lucid dreams. I really don't know exactly what they are, so I just tell you what happened, and just kind of get it down, and so it's saved somewhere. So last night I was listening to this like guided meditation, and I had my headphones on. I had like the noise canceling headphones, and I went to sleep with the intention that all I wanted to do really was to see if I could fly around. I was just like trying to have a really small goal. So I was listening to it, and I keeping myself awake. My mind was awake. My body was like getting very relaxed. And at some point, I was sort of in between state of dreaming and being awake, maybe sort of falling asleep, because I could still hear her talking in my ears. So this was probably about an hour into the recording. So I'm sure that I dozed off, because I'm really good at sleeping. That's like one of my special skills, and I feel like that's one of the reasons why I maybe struggle a little bit to have an OBE, because I fall asleep. Like, I'm so tired at the end of the day. But at some point I still could hear her talking in my ear. So this is what happened. It was sort of a dream, and I was like inside of what I think was like a church or some kind of building that had like wooden seats in it, and there were other people there that were listening to the same thing that I was listening to. It was almost like it was being piped through the building in this dream. And I had a mat I was going to lay on. It was like a rubber-backed carpet, and everybody around me was going, "Oh, hurry up, get on the floor and lay down and close your eyes, because this is the time, this is the point where we leave our bodies in this recording," like that they were all listening to. So I looked at one of the people there and I said, "Seriously, you can just listen to something for a few seconds and just leave your body like that?" And they were like, "Yeah, sometimes." So I was like, okay. So I laid my mat on the floor, and I laid down, and I shut my eyes. And after, like a few seconds, I don't know how long it was, of listening to this recording, which, like I said, was still playing in my headphones, okay? After a few seconds of that, I started to feel vibrations, and then I felt my soul, like something. I felt like I was coming out of my body, like sliding down towards my feet and like raising up. So I sensed that I came out of my body, and I was so happy. I was like, oh my gosh, it really worked. And I looked back. I was like, I'm gonna look at my body, because everybody says, you can view yourself laying there. And I saw myself laying on the mat, but what I saw was like myself and like other people around me laying on their mats, and it was fuzzy. It was like I was made of like static, like you see on the TV screen, like that's, what do you call that, snow, like staticky. It wasn't like a clear image. So I saw that, and then I kind of turned around and I just flew. I just went. I don't know if I was flying or just going, just gliding, just floating or something, going towards a window. And the window, when I got up to the window, I put my hand on it, so because I was like, I could just go through this. But a lot of times when I'm in a state, like, I can't go through it the first time. I have to specifically do something to get through it. So I hit it was like a thin plexiglass, and I was tapping on it. And the only thing I could see outside of the glass, like it was light out there, was a white face, a white kind of plastic looking, like maybe an engraving of some sort. It was like a white plastic face. I don't know. I don't say it was plastic because I don't really know, but it reminded me of like something you see like a marble sculpture maybe, but it's just a face. It was small. And I tapped on the plastic, and I was like mouthing to it to like open it so I could get out. I was like, open this up. And the face just looked at me, and then the face changed into like a distorted, like, kind of like weird looking face. And it was indicating to me that it wasn't going to help me out to get out of this plastic. So then at this point I was like, fine, I'll just do it myself. So I stuck my finger through it, and it sort of like went right through, like it melted a little hole in the plastic. And then I took my other finger, and I was like, I'll show you real quick. I just like went like this, and I opened it up, and I carved with my fingers right through it, and then I took out that piece of plastic, and then I basically just like went through the opening that I created. And I remember thinking, like, I hope this opening is big enough for me to fit through, and I don't know, but I flew through it. And then after I flew through it, I was out there and didn't really see much. It kind of seemed like I was underwater a little bit. And like I said, I don't know. I can't really say like definitely what this experience was. Like, I don't want to classify it as one thing or another, but I'll just keep going. So it sort of seemed like I was underwater. I was floating through this kind of water, but I could still breathe. But I was thinking to myself, I don't want to like inhale too much water, but I didn't. I could still breathe even though there was water around me. And after a while, I came up to something that looked like a big engine shop maybe, or kind of reminds me of like an auto body shop where there's like a car up on a lift or something. And then so there was something up on a lift, like I don't know if it was a motorcycle or an engine, exactly what it was, but I flew underneath that. I was like trying to get around it, flew underneath that, came out the other side of that, and then I'm thinking, now where should I go? And at the moment I thought that where should I go, I started to think of the idea that if I get too excited or nervous, that I'm going to go back into my body. And as soon as I had that thought, I felt myself sinking, like kind of sinking back down into my body. And then I was so sad because I didn't want it to end, but at that point I sensed that I was back in my body, in my bed. So I don't know, kind of a weird experience. Now the good thing about it was it's the first time that I ever felt myself slide out of my body. But the weird thing about it is like I wasn't seeing myself in my own actual bed. I was seeing myself as laying on the floor of this other building on a red mat, and then from there sliding out of my body. So I don't know, it's kind of weird, so I'm not really sure what to make of it, but I know that I was super excited and super happy that happened. So I just wanted to share it with you guys, and I don't know, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Thanks. Have a great day.